What if I told you one small nation has an air force so advanced, so aggressive, and so battle-tested a broken bar that even global superpowers quietly study it? Not in simulations, not in exercises, in real wars. Today, we expose the truth behind Israel's air dominance, its elite pilots, deadly jets, and the air power doctrine that reshaped modern warfare. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Warvex Intelligence. What you're about to hear may shock you. Israel is not the biggest country, it does not have the largest population, it does not even possess the most aircraft on paper. Yet again and again, military analysts quietly ask the same question: does Israel really operate the world's deadliest air force? This is not hype. This reputation was not built in air shows or marketing brochures. It was forged in surprise wars, preemptive strikes, deep penetration missions, and real-time combat against multiple adversaries at once. From the legendary destruction of enemy air forces on the ground to modern stealth operations that never make headlines, Israel's air force has rewritten what air dominance means. But raw power alone is not the answer. The true strength lies in how Israel combines elite pilots, customized fighter jets, intelligence dominance, and a ruthless operational doctrine that prioritizes speed, precision, and initiative. In this video, we are going inside the mindset, machines, and strategy that fuel Israel's air supremacy, separating myth from measurable capability. By the end, you may understand why even the most advanced air forces study Israel very carefully. Israel's air power story begins with survival. Unlike global powers that can afford strategic patience, Israel's air force was designed around urgency. From day one, it had one mission: achieve air superiority immediately or risk national destruction. This mindset shaped everything. Israel does not wait for air parity, it aims for total dominance in the opening hours of a conflict. Historically, this approach produced some of the most studied air operations in military history. Instead of reacting, Israel strikes first, disrupts command structures, blinds radar networks, and neutralizes runways before enemy aircraft can even take off. What sets Israel apart is integration. Intelligence, cyber warfare, electronic attack, space-based surveillance, and manned aircraft all operate as a single organism. Targets are identified, validated, and struck in compressed timelines that leave adversaries permanently off balance. Unlike many air forces that rely on strict hierarchy, Israeli air operations emphasize pilot initiative. Mission commanders are trusted to adapt in real time, a dangerous but powerful philosophy. This flexibility allows Israel to exploit fleeting windows of opportunity that rigid doctrines often miss. This is not just air power, it is decision dominance in 3 dimensions. At the core of Israel's air superiority stands its pilots, widely considered among the most elite in the world. Becoming an Israeli Air Force pilot is statistically harder than entering most special forces units. The selection process filters not only physical ability but mental resilience, decision-making under extreme pressure, and adaptability. Training is relentless. Pilots are exposed to complex, multi-threat scenarios early, forcing them to manage air combat, ground threats, electronic warfare, and mission command simultaneously. Mistakes are dissected brutally, not to punish, but to perfect. What truly distinguishes Israeli pilots is combat experience. Unlike many nations whose pilots train primarily in exercises, Israeli aviators repeatedly operate in real-world hostile environments. They fly knowing surface-to-air missiles, electronic jamming, and enemy fighters are not hypothetical threats. Equally important is cultural trust. Israeli commanders expect pilots to improvise when necessary. If conditions change mid-mission, pilots are empowered to deviate from the plan to ensure mission success. This combination of elite selection, real combat exposure, and decentralized decision-making produces pilots who are not just skilled flyers but airborne tacticians. Israel's aircraft are not simply purchased, they are transformed. The most famous example is the F-35I Adir, a stealth fighter uniquely modified for Israeli operational needs. While other nations operate the F-35 largely as delivered, Israel insisted on deep customization. Israeli engineers integrated indigenous electronic warfare systems, sensors, and mission software. This allows the aircraft to operate independently of external support, a critical requirement in contested environments. The Adir is optimized not just for stealth, but for intelligence gathering, electronic attack, and precision strikes in heavily defended airspace. Beyond the F-35, Israel's upgraded F-15S and F-16S remain lethal platforms. Equipped with advanced radar, long-range weapons, and precision-guided munitions, these aircraft form a layered strike capability. What matters most is not individual aircraft performance, but how they operate together. Stealth platforms penetrate first, exposing air defenses. Legacy fighters follow with overwhelming firepower. Drones, satellites, and cyber units feed continuous data into the battlespace. Israel's air fleet functions as a single, adaptive strike system and not isolated platforms. Intelligence is Israel's true force multiplier. The Israeli Air Force operates in lockstep with intelligence agencies, ensuring pilots rarely fly blind. Before a strike ever occurs, targets are mapped, behaviors analyzed, and defensive patterns predicted. This intelligence advantage compresses the kill chain. Detection, decision, and destruction occur faster than adversaries can respond. In many cases, targets are struck before enemy commanders even realize they have been exposed. Electronic warfare plays a decisive role. Israeli aircraft are known for their ability to degrade radar systems, disrupt communications, and create false signatures. This turns enemy air defenses into confused, fragmented networks rather than cohesive shields. Unmanned systems also expand reach. Drones conduct surveillance, decoy defenses, and provide real-time targeting updates. This allows manned aircraft to strike with extreme precision while minimizing risk. The result is psychological dominance. When adversaries cannot see, communicate, or predict Israeli air actions, deterrence is reinforced without constant escalation. This fusion of intelligence, cyber capability, and kinetic air power is what elevates Israel from a strong air force to a strategic outlier. Doctrine defines power. Israel's air doctrine is offensive, preventive, and unapologetically proactive. Unlike defensive-minded forces that wait for conflict escalation, Israel believes air superiority must be seized immediately, even preemptively if required. This doctrine emphasizes striking enemy capabilities rather than symbolic targets. Runways, radar sites, missile launchers, command nodes, and logistics hubs are prioritized. The goal is paralysis, not attrition. Speed is essential. Missions are planned to overwhelm defenses before they adapt. Simultaneous multi-axis attacks create confusion, forcing adversaries into reactive postures. Israel also prepares for multi-front scenarios. Its air force trains to operate against different threat environments at once, balancing long-range strike missions with homeland defense. This doctrine is controversial, but effective. It minimizes prolonged conflict by decisively shaping the battlespace early. In modern warfare, where hesitation can be fatal, Israel's air doctrine prioritizes initiative above all else. Comparisons matter. When analysts compare Israel's air force to global powers, numbers alone mislead. While nations like the United States or China possess far larger fleets, Israel compensates through readiness, integration, and combat utilization. Israeli aircraft fly more operational missions per platform than most air forces. Maintenance cycles are optimized for rapid turnaround. Pilots remain current through constant exposure to real-world scenarios. In contrast, many large air forces struggle with bureaucratic inertia and limited combat exposure. Israel's compact structure allows faster adaptation and innovation. This does not mean Israel could outmatch a superpower in total war, but in regional conflicts the environment it was designed for. Israel's air force may be among the most lethal per aircraft and per pilot on Earth. Effectiveness, not scale, defines deadliness. Deterrence is an invisible battlefield, and Israel's air power dominates it. The mere knowledge that Israel can strike deep, precisely, and unpredictably shapes enemy behavior. Adversaries invest heavily in air defenses, yet remain uncertain whether those systems can truly protect critical assets. This uncertainty limits escalation and constrains strategic planning. Israel rarely confirms operations, allowing ambiguity to amplify psychological impact. Silence becomes part of the weapon. In modern conflict, perception can be as decisive as firepower, and Israel understands this deeply. Challenges remain. Advanced air defenses, hypersonic weapons, and peer adversary technologies are evolving rapidly. Israel must continuously innovate to maintain its edge. However, history suggests adaptability is Israel's greatest strength. From embargo-driven improvisation to indigenous innovation, Israel has repeatedly turned constraints into advantages. Future air power will rely on artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and expanded cyber integration, areas where Israel is already investing heavily. The question is not whether Israel will remain relevant, but how it will redefine air dominance next. So, does Israel really have the world's deadliest air force? The answer depends on definition. Not the largest, not the most expensive, but arguably one of the most efficient, experienced, and strategically integrated air forces ever built. Its pilots are elite. Its jets are customized for war, not display. Its doctrine prioritizes decisive action, and its intelligence fusion remains unmatched. In the unforgiving mathematics of survival, Israel designed an air force that cannot afford failure, and that pressure has forged something extraordinary. If you found this analysis valuable, support Warvex Intelligence by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with fellow defense enthusiasts. Comment below: do you believe Israel has the world's deadliest air force, or does another nation deserve that title?